a million people may watch this or 3 people may watch this, but there'd be some kid that'd be like, man, I was ready to give up. And then I heard Nick and Daylen talking, and I can do this. Mm-hmm. Just so, like, underdog, like, your story needs to be heard. Like, this whole thing is about celebrating underdogs and just telling their story.
Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, yeah. Underrated, we the underdogs, underestimated, we the ones. Yeah, we the ones. Yeah, we the ones. We the ones. Yeah.
In here, we got the underdog vibes on 100. I'll start off by telling you the definition of an underdog. Daylen, the definition of an underdog is a competitor who appears to have no chance to win the fight. I love that because a lot of people, we got a lot of counterfeit underdogs that call themselves underdogs, but they ain't competitors. They're not competitors. They're not dogs like you. And the reason that I wanted you here is because I know that you're an underdog. Let me ask you this. Based on what I just told you is the definition of an underdog, would you call yourself an underdog, and if so, why?
Yeah, I would say I am. I mean, like I said, the biggest thing you said is competitive. I'm definitely competitive, but just like, for a lot of the places I feel like I've gone and got to, like, I feel like I wasn't supposed to be there or people didn't think I would ever be there. Mm-hmm. Just, just kind of just how, based off how things happen.
Yeah, no doubt. And I think you're an underdog. And for me, man, you know me. One of the coolest things about what I do, and to me, that's my paycheck. That's more than any money that I could collect, is being a part of the process to help a boy with potential develop into a man. And that's what's going on here, to see what you've already accomplished and what you continue to accomplish. But, I think that we need to talk about and celebrate and promote your underdog journey because, one, you are a competitor. I think to be an underdog, there's a resiliency. When you talk about competitiveness, it's a way that you compete. You've got to be an enthusiastic competitor. You have to be a resilient competitor. I believe that every underdog should understand this quote and just, log it in their heart and in their mind. Nelson Mandela, let me see if I can get it right. No axe is sharp enough to break the soul of a sinner that keeps trying. Difficulties break most, but they make others. And to me, that's what it's saying is, it's like the underdog is different. They're going to stand 10 toes down. Like, they're going to go through, 100 people could go through the same thing and 99 of them would fold. But that underdog energy, that underdog DNA, they're going to find a way to keep going. It may not feel good. It may hurt. You may cry. You may even get depressed, and I'm sure we'll touch on that. But you don't stop. One, you don't stop showing up. You fight through the hard days, and you find a way to have that resiliency. And to me, resiliency is not only do you show up, but how you show up. Do you keep fighting? Do you keep believing? Do you keep having that swag? Mm-hmm. And that's what I feel about you. Started at George Washington, right? Yep. Then went to Denver East here in Denver. And then after Denver East, you were a 4-star recruit. And then went to Colorado. Averaged, 17 minutes? Yep. Your freshman year? Mm-hmm. 5 points, which, I would imagine, like, leaving Denver East, you probably assumed, like, you were going to go be freshman of the year or one and done, like we all do when we're in that age, 4-star recruit and all that. And while that maybe didn't happen, you had to feel good, right, about being a contributor on a good team. Because who else was on that team your freshman year?
McKinley Wright, mm-hmm. Tyler Bay, Evan Batty, Evan. Mm-hmm. Lucas, pretty sure you know Lucas, Shane. That team was pretty good. Like, that wasn't a bad team. Like,
no doubt.
Yeah, we had 2 dudes, Tyler and McKinley, both went to the league, 2 years after, or Tyler went 2 years after that, McKinley went 3 years after that. But, that wasn't a the mediocre
right.
team. That was a pretty good team, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so you averaging 17 minutes and you got 2 NBA. So that means that's solid, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
You had to feel good about that, right?
Yeah, I felt good. I definitely felt good. The little stuff I did coming in and my little highlight dunks and just the little stuff I did, like, it felt good. It felt like I was on a path to do something, real good. Like, right. I was on a path to do something super good.
Right. What was it? What was it? Basically, doing life. Workouts, everything with 2 players that ultimately made it to the NBA. What were the immediate, kind of like eye-opening moments, just seeing them and, their approach or their grind or whatever, and how did that affect you?
Just seeing, like, like, you know, when we was there, like they was the, you know, the two main faces on campus. And
Yo, my bad, y'all. Technical difficulties. Give your boy a pass. It's my first pod. I'm learning as I go. I promise I'll get better. And I hate that we had the sound difficulties on that clip because his answer was so dope. But before we get back to it, I might as well plug myself. So make sure you like, follow, subscribe, share, do all that. If you need a book, you know I do that too. God in Basketball. Book 2 on the way, uNderdog. Wait for it. If you need a basketball trainer, I got you on that too. But let's get back to it.
Consistently doing extra work, then like it kind of gave me like a pathway, honestly, to what to follow after.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. Being honest, because that's the other thing. I don't want anybody to sit in that chair that's not going to be 100, that's not going to be humble. To me, like, if you really care about people, you're going to be 100% open about your journey. Mm-hmm. With that being said, you know, I know a lot of freshmen, I don't think they're matured enough as a competitor, so they really don't understand how hard it is.
Yeah.
Until, like, you know, something bad happens. When you saw them working hard, did you immediately, like, just say, I'm going to do whatever they do? Or was there a period where you were like, you know, like where you necessarily didn't go as hard as they did because maybe you didn't even understand that you had to?
I would say it's like a little bit of both. Like, you know, like I seen them, it's like, all right, like I need to get in the gym, but like at the same time, you know, like I said, they're doing it consistently and like, you know, consistently in there. Like they had a routine, like after practice shots. If it's late practice, before practice, they're getting shots, you know what I mean? And then come back at night working out. It's just like, for me, it's just like, I had to figure out how to get it, like, be consistent with it, you know what I mean? Like, like definitely I would still be going to the gym and getting up shots and stuff. It's just like on a consistent basis. Like no matter what I'm gonna do today, I know at some point I'm gonna go in and get shots and then, you know, go do homework or whatever it is. But just building that routine to make it more consistent. Like I feel like that's kind of why like my play was up and down. You know, like some games like I was like, okay, like this kid can play, and then some games it's like, who is this dude? You know what I mean? Right. But like I feel like that was kind of why it was up and down like that first year a lot, just because not being consistent with my work ethic and getting in extra shots, you know what I mean? Getting in extra, just whatever it is. Yeah. To work on my game, on my body, or even watching film and stuff like that. Yeah. And the thing about those guys, and, you know, those guys that were pros, McKinley, and who was it? Tyler, yeah. Is, man, they got to work so hard because to do it every night, you know what I'm saying? You know you're like that. You know you're him. When when I coached at Iowa State, I was on the other side, like staying up till 3 a.m, watching film, watching every possession of Devontae Graham and, you know, or whoever it was. Trae Young was a freshman, or Mo Bamba at Texas, or whoever it was, watching every possession with our guards. And the guys that like where like we're game planning them, we know everything they're gonna do. We know every single one of their tendencies, and they still give you 25. Yeah. You know, that's a different kind of work ethic. And like you know, I don't want to get too far ahead, but now it's funny how things happen. Now that's where you're at, right? Like with what the success you had at Northern Colorado, right? Yeah, definitely. Like that's the big thing I'm kind of focused on this year. Like, you know, after having a year like last year, everybody knows I can score. You know what I mean? It's a lot of film. Now it's just trying to, you know what I mean, just watching film even more, seeing where I could get, you know, spots better, or maybe make the plays for my teammates, just knowing that, like last year, I really didn't have the target on my back. Now, it's me. Like, everybody's eyes is on me, so it's like, now I just gotta, just learning how to play, you know, with everybody's eyes on me and just still being able to be productive, making my teammates better, and just still being able to do what I do.